Hello, welcome to the Monday Business News Report. We now started with the energy sector. For our feature on the show today, the Petroleum Products Marketing Company, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, has already increased the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit, that's petrol, to 155 naira 17 kobo per litre from 147 naira 67 kobo per litre. Now, the PPMC, which earlier disclosed this in an internal memo, says that the new ex-depot price, which also took effect from Friday, is also expected to see pump price range from about 168 naira to 170 naira per litre in its PMS price proposal for the month of November. The PPMC also put the landing cost of petrol at 128 naira 89 kobo per litre, which is up from 119 naira 77 kobo per litre within the September to October period. Well, joining me now in our Lagos studio to discuss this and much more, I have Adeola Yusuf, New Telegraph's energy editor. Good to have you on the breakfast show today.
It's my pleasure.
Now, before we talk about the reactions we've gotten so far with the recent fuel price hike, at this point in time, let's have an assessment of the price modulating mechanism adopted by the federal government since it was first implemented and down the line months now. How do you think it has fared so far?
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, it's very, very important that we do a bit of backgrounding. Before the government came up with that plan to start modulation, what they were doing before that time was to dictate price. And because of that, they have been spending subsidy. They have been using a lot of money. The last data we have was about 1 trillion naira averagely, annually, to subsidize petrol. So because of COVID-19 and a number of economic crunch the world is facing, our government discovered that they won't be able to go ahead with that. So that informed the decision to remove subsidy and do what they said, what they termed modulation. What modulation meant by that, conceptually, is that they will be advising using, a gap.
Yes.
So the template they'll be using will have a maximum and a minimum. Unlike before that, they will say, okay, this is the price fixed. So that happened in the first quarter of this year, and the first we saw was a dip in the price, and everyone jubilated, and some of us, are aware that because what the government has just done by that act is to allow the market forces to be in place, to take charge. So, and one of such market forces is the global price of crude oil. So anytime the price of crude oil, surges at the international market, definitely it is going to affect you. So then after that, we have a price increase. Then after that, we have a price increase. Then after that, we have a price increase. So the last being the one that happened on Friday, last Friday, in which the PPMC announced 155.17 kobo for the ex-depot price. And few hours after that, the NNPC issued a statement by Dr. Kenny Obateru stating that the price they are advising is 153 naira. So, what I felt in that, with little understanding of the industry I have, is that we will be facing that challenge because, or we face that challenge because NNPC is still the major importer of the product. What NNPC did...
Although other independent marketers also have gotten licenses to import as well.
Yes. So what we still have now is that, although some of them have started importing, but what we still have now is that NNPC is still the major.
The volume is still...
So what NNPC did on its website was to advise that this is the price we will be selling, or this is the price that the marketers will be lifting at the ex-depot, unit of our facilities. So if we have other marketers that are importing at the same scale with NNPC, what they too will do is to say that, okay, NNPC has announced this, we too we are announcing this.
Okay, but Adeola, at this point in time, despite the entire volatility we've seen in the markets, within the September to October period, we saw oil prices which still lingers around $39, $40. Yeah. So the question, and every other business man or woman on the street, is why are we having this increment if the pricing template or the price range you've seen so far between September and October was relatively the same. Why do I have to pay more now if we're still dealing with the same figures?
Okay, so in addition to that fundamental issue you have just raised, another issue is that there is a decline in the consumption, in the demand, even for the petroleum product. The last report from one of the international agencies was that refineries abroad are shutting down because of the demand. Aside from the COVID-19 that dipped the demand, we are all aware of a tilt towards electrical, use. Cars, they are going away from fuel. They are ensuring to renewable energy. So that generally, affected the demand, and that generally affected the price. So naturally, what a number of people have been saying is that the price, instead of going up at this time, should have come down. But another thing to that, which is an argument from the government side, was that what they usually do with price modulation is not, the price modulation is what happened last month, is the price of crude oil at the international and other fundamentals last month will be what they will use to now say, okay, this is what we are going to sell this month. Do you understand? So most times what they usually do is to project. But the truth of the matter is that Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, LCCI, and everyone has come out to say that this is going to worsen the situation for Nigerians.
Exactly. I'm talking about worsening the situation. Do you think Nigerians have that threshold to be able to still respond in a sane manner to all of these increments? Do you think we'll likely see a further hike?
Okay, because of the fact that we have COVID-19, we have a second wave. We have a second wave of COVID-19. So what naturally should happen will be a decline in the price by next month. What naturally should happen? What I'm saying is not that I'm just doing a forecast based on the available data. You understand? So then aside from that, looking at the fact that this fuel in Nigeria has multiplier effect. Before you know it, affecting industries, and the Nigerian factor, which I need to point out at this point, was that immediately what marveled me was that immediately that announcement was made, the marketers doing everything in their Nigerian ways, changed the pump immediately. Mind you, when that happened around February, March, when there was a price decrease, all of them said that they are going to sell off their stock before they was. But this one, so I want to say,
would you say this is exploitative?
It is profiteering. Fact of matter is that as much as we try to pinpoint the errors from the side of government, which one of such, as far as I'm concerned, is that government shouldn't be doing a monthly pricing modulation. They could look at those data that they look at. They can look at 3 months. When you keep, increasing the price every month, people will get tired. You understand? So, if the pricing modulation is based on fundamentals, based on 3 months review, you understand, or 6 months review, that could help. Because everyone is lamenting now because there is no one that will say that this is not affecting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the limitations that we have at this point in time. Production cuts due to OPEC agreements. Looking at our refining capacity as well, we're still largely importing and a whole lot more. What sort of pressure do you think we would put on Dangote refineries when it comes into bear? Okay.
One fact about Dangote refinery is that it is located at the export zone. You understand? Dangote refinery is supposed to serve the to serve the African market, the export zone. You understand? But if an agreement, happens between Dangote and Nigerian government, it can as well serve the Nigerian market.
But will you tally with economic watchers who say that's the line discussions are slowly tilting towards?
One thing we understand is that Dangote, if you want to trace the history of the Dangote refinery, I have the privilege of having a one-on-one with Alhaji Aliko Dangote. And what he reminded us that was that his company, before he even ventured into that refinery, his company won, the Port Harcourt refinery at the eve of Obasanjo's regime. But when Dangote, he won that bid, and he has even been handed over the Port Harcourt refinery. But when President Yaradua, late President Yaradua, came on board, you know, Nigerians, they rally around and told him that, okay, no, we can fix this refinery. Why do you need to sell it for someone? So they revoked that license from Dangote. That was what made Dangote to say that he can even start a refinery from the scratch. So with that background, you understand that this is a private entity. Fine, it's being done by a Nigerian, but it's a private entity. Whatever optimism, Nigerians will want to have,
it should be a private entity.
The
direction solely to the company.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your time on the show today, Adeola Yusuf. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. And at the end of the day, whatever way the pendulum swings, we just hope that Nigerians can bear with the inconveniences, and also government takes into consideration the hardship of the people. We have inflation rates soaring, unemployment rates skyrocketing, businesses have been badly hit, and it's just quite a tough situation to maneuver around.